Have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Like you were the odd one out in your own family? That was my life. In a family that sparkled with socialites and overachievers, I was the quiet one, the bookworm, the girl who preferred rainy afternoons with a good story to flashy parties. They didn't get me. My accomplishments were dismissed. My passions were called childish. They saw me as a disappointment, a gray smudge on their vibrant family portrait. And slowly, I started to believe them. My reflection showed me someone plain, someone not good enough. My confidence was a fragile little bird, barely able to flutter its wings. One evening, I was dragged to yet another extravagant family gala. I felt like a ghost, drifting through a sea of laughter and clinking champagne glasses. I found a quiet corner on a balcony, the cool night air a welcome relief. That's where he found me. I'd seen him before, from a distance. Liam Sterling. His name was whispered in every corner of the room. He was a business tycoon, a man who built an empire from scratch. He was confident, handsome, and completely out of my world. I expected him to walk right past me, but he stopped. Hiding from the noise, he asked, his voice a low, gentle rumble that was nothing like the booming commands I'd heard about. I was so startled, I could only nod. "Me too," he said with a small smile. "It's a bit much, isn't it?" We stood there in silence for a moment, and for the first time all night, it wasn't awkward. He didn't ask me who I was or who I was with. He just looked at the city lights with me. Then he turned, his eyes curious. "You don't seem like you belong in this circus." I laughed, a real, genuine laugh. I was just thinking the same thing about myself, I admitted. And just like that, we started talking. Not about business or social status or any of the usual small talk. We talked about books, about dreams, about the quiet joy of a perfect cup of coffee. He listened, really listened. To my thoughts on classic literature, he didn't find it boring. He found it fascinating. He told me about his own escape hiking in remote mountains where no one knew his name. In his world of cutthroat deals and high-stakes negotiations, he craved simplicity. As the night ended, he asked for my number. I was so shocked, I almost dropped my phone. For days, I expected it to be a polite gesture, a fleeting moment of kindness he'd already forgotten. But then, he called. He didn't want to take me to a 5-star restaurant or a fancy event. He wanted to visit that little independent bookstore I told him about. We spent hours there, weaving through aisles of books, sharing stories. He saw the way my eyes lit up when I talked about my favorite authors. And he didn't see a child, he saw passion. Our dates were different. We had picnics in the park, we took long drives with no destination, we explored art galleries on quiet weekday afternoons. With him, I wasn't the family disappointment. I was just me. And he seemed to think that was more than enough. He found my shyness charming. My quiet nature peaceful. He called me his hidden gem. He said, "Your family is blind. They're so busy looking for glitter, they miss the diamond right in front of them." Of course, my family was baffled when Liam started showing up to family functions as my plus one. They couldn't comprehend it. They thought he was mistaken, or that I was pulling some elaborate trick. My sister once cornered him, asking what his angle was. I'll never forget his reply. He looked her straight in the eye and said, "My angle is that I've finally found someone authentic in a world full of copies, and I'm not letting her go." His belief in me was like sunlight on a wilting flower. I started to stand up taller. I began to voice my opinions, first hesitantly, and then with more conviction. I enrolled in a creative writing course, something I'd always dreamed of, but was too scared to pursue. Liam was my biggest cheerleader. He read every word I wrote, not with criticism, but with genuine admiration. He celebrated my small victories as if they were his own. One evening, we were back on that same balcony where we first met. The city lights twinkled below us. He took my hand. "Do you remember that first night?" he asked. I saw this girl, all alone, looking at the stars as if she belonged up there with them, not down here in all this noise. You were different. You were real. You weren't trying to be anyone but yourself, and that was the most exciting thing I'd ever seen. He pulled a small box from his pocket. My heart stopped. He got down on one knee, and the world seemed to fade away. "I don't want to just be your cheerleader," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I want to be your partner, your co-author in our own love story. I want to spend the rest of my life discovering all the wonderful things about you that others were too blind to see. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down my face, but they weren't tears of sadness or self-doubt. They were tears of pure, unadulterated joy. I said yes. In that moment, I realized my story wasn't about being hated by my family. That was just the prologue. My real story, the love story, began the moment I learned to see myself through his eyes, not as a disappointment, but as someone worthy of love, worthy of happiness, worthy of her own incredible adventure. He didn't save me. He just held up a mirror and showed me the person who was there all along. And for that, I will be forever grateful. This is our story, a reminder that sometimes the one person who sees your true worth can change everything. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe to Echoes of Passion for more. We'll see you next time.